Welcome, welcome. I am GpaSilverMane, and this is all about raids in Marvel Strike Force. I'm going to cover it from the beginning when you're first getting into the game so you understand it, all the way to end game, the meta teams you should be farming now, when starting, or why, while you're leveling and such, so you're prepared for Doom raids. And it all ties in with Dark Dimension and everything. It all meshes really, really well together. Dark Dimension will be a different video. Meta character strategies for Dark Dimensions, all that good stuff, how to plan ahead, gear wise and such, will be a totally different video. But this one's all about raids. If you haven't already, definitely go down below and hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel grow. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Completely free to do. Thumbs it up if this helps you or you find any of it informational and you can use it. Definitely thumbs it up. Completely free to do. Helps the channel grow and it helps YouTube know to recommend this, bro. Also, there's a comment section. Please feel free to comment, give feedback. Other tips and advice that I may have missed, that would be so helpful, as well as there's a Discord link in the description of the video. Feel free to join us there, carry on the conversation, talk about other crazy stuff like Spider-Man No Way Home or any of the new Marvel movies that come out. We just have tons of fun over there. Helpful, friendly Marvel Strike Force community players. So check us out over there, absolutely. Alright, let's go ahead and dive in here. I am on my level 64 free to play account here, and as you can see, we're in beta 3, difficulty 4, and ultimate 7, difficulty 1. Now, obviously, I said I was going to talk about starting out in the game. Alright, before I dive into raids, I actually want to talk about the teams, I guess. So that way I get that important information in there, just in case people really want to know that part. That is the crucial part, which teams to use and why. And I have a list here I saved up. I went in and I've actually never done this. So I never use this raids tab, but I went in and I deleted it all and I set up teams, okay? And I want to kind of explain it here. Now I use the characters I have built when Doom raids come out. And I just recently, it's probably been the last 1 to 3 months we've been doing Doom 1 raids, but we're more now doing Doom 1 every day with Ultimate 7 once or twice a week, maybe. Very rarely do we drop back to Ultimate 7. So we're starting to sustain and get that blue ISOs and stuff. But what I want to show here is the 5 best teams that I use. And there is new teams coming. There's always going to be new teams coming. And there's metas and better teams will come out. And a lot of it's about your roster, needless to say. But I built these 2 for Dark Dimension. Like I said, a lot of this ties into Dark Dimension as well. This is my city lane. These guys are global. These 2 rather. Alright, but what I want to do here is, so the lane I take, I fight mutants first. 2 nodes of mutants. And this is the 5 mutants I use, and I'm able to beat the boss node and everything else on my mutants. The second set of nodes is bio, and this is the bio team I use currently, and I'm able to get it done with both. I do struggle on the boss node a little bit in the lane I'm in for bio, but it's a lot harder in my lane than other lanes in Doom for the bio node. The boss node is quite difficult. Web Warriors, if you're a newer player and you're starting out, Web Warriors is the way to go, not symbiotes, okay? Now, later on, you're going to get Anti-Venom and maybe Symbiote Spider-Man, and you can do a mix and match of characters. You could even put Venom. Some people say Venom's one of the best 5 characters for Doom raids, including with the new Web Warriors. So a mix and match of characters and such. But Web Warriors will get it done by themselves. I can guarantee you that. So build them, and the bigger you take them, the easier Doom raids are going to get later on. And obviously, if you have the full Axemen, which is part of my guide and what I recommend and everybody else recommends, they are one of the best raid teams. You can use this team. Without these 2, it would be Kitty Pryde and Frosty, Iceman rather. And I got that down here, right here. The Axemen. They're going to do U7-5. They're going to do any raids you need that they're eligible before then. They are going to master it. They are one of the best teams. They do what the symbiotes do, but a lot faster because of the damage. And the hills. The sustained hills come from Beast, whereas the slows come from him, and then you just annihilate with these 2, essentially. And she can put out some pretty good damage herself. So, that is your Ultimates team, essentially. And there's a few other teams I put in here. This was the original team way back in the day when I started 2 years ago. So they had been using the BKT or whatever it's called. I don't know what that stands for. But essentially these 2 are energy batteries. He's just blasting everybody down with his ultimate. She's healing and reviving as needed, and he's putting up death proof defense up and a taunt, as well as he increases Rocket Raccoon's damage to kill people. So this was the best Ultimate 7-5 team back in the day. I never used it, never had to. Shadowlands will clear U7-5, not at this power level though. You need the T4s in her to make her heal and put defense ups on the Shadowlands. And really, you could just use her with any 4 other characters, and she keeps them alive while they kill the enemies, type of deal. So you could really use multiple teams and get through U75, but you got to have like 3 essential things. You got to have a healer or a reviver or both, and lots of damage. Control is huge. With him putting all the negative effects, slows, defense downs, offense downs, they can't hurt your team. You can kill them, and they're slow, so you get a lot more attacks. His team is really fast. He hits tons of people. She's a single target, so they're not ideal for raids. Neither of these characters are ideal. You'd be better off putting somebody else in that can hit more targets, because they both hit single targets, needless to say. But these other 3, Daredevil, Night Nurse, and Moon Knight, would be amazing in U75. Can they do it? Yes. Should you use them? No. There's a lot better options. But Axeman is the team you should go for starting out in the game. But I want to carry back on up here. So the bio lane, this is what I'm using. I'm switching to Web Warriors, or a compilation of it. I'm building Web Warriors because I love Spider-Man, and I want Spider-Punk because he looks amazing. He's going to be like Bishop for me because of what he looks like, his cosmetically, the way they drew him, and his guitar. Rock and roll, man. I grew up on 70s, 80s hair rock, Hair Nation, hair metal, whatever you want to call it. All the Goldies and Goldies, the greats, the Ozzies, the Metallicas, Zeppelin, that good stuff. So I'm getting Spider-Punk, needless to say. And then I'll make a composition of the team to get through bio as I need to. But this team will do it. Now for the skill lane, this is the team I'm using. Why? Because I built Zemo for Nexus and Villain 7-1, as well as the Hydra Doom campaign node. So I'm going to utilize him here. He was already built up. As well as he's a big PvP aspect, great in wars. He's just an awesome character, right? Which is weird because he sucks in the movies. Heroes for Hire, Shang-Chi. I seen the movie. I love the guy. It's the only Hero for Hire character I built. Luke Cage is the next biggest. I do believe at like 60k. This guy is phenomenal. He kicks everybody in the face. He has a self-heal. Wonderful, wonderful character. At that power level, I get war defense wins all the time because people come in and kill my other 4, and he just kicks their butts. Kestrel, obviously, great character. Gamora I just used because I already had her built from the Infinity Watch, and she's one of the best skill characters I can use. And then Cap Sam. Obviously, the ideal team would be the 3 Secret Avengers, Kestrel, and one other skill character. Okay? Infinity Watch is not good for Doom raids because you have to break them up. You can only use 1 or 2 of the characters in each of the nodes. So you can't use them as a team, and where Infinity Watch power come from is the team, the synergies. So this is the team I use, and obviously there's probably a better setup out there, and you might not have some of these characters, so you might have to make adjustments. But that's something you're going to have to dictate for your roster. I'm showing you what I use and what works, and I just blow it away, literally. I destroy the nodes like it's nothing. And then you come down here to the tech. Now, Ultron and Doom, they have great synergy because his bots speed up him and him. They give the effect to villain tech. I believe the bots give the speed up and the buffs to villain tech. So it helps him a lot, but the problem is he summons minions. He summons 3 minions. And the less minions he's able to summon, the less damage he does with his special. So bear that in mind. They can actually run into each other and cause each other problems. Because if you get 6 minions out or 4 minions out, and you got these 5 on the field, he can only have 1 minion at that point. And then his special's like a pinch, a mosquito bite type of deal. So that's not ideal, but these are the 5 best, and this is the 5 I use. If one of them dies, I have plenty of other tech characters like Shuri and such that I can plug in. But this is what I use for my tech lanes in Doom 1. Is there better teams? Yes. This is a Dark Dimension character, Dark Dimension. Not really. I guess on your second run you could use him, but as of now, DD5 is where you're probably going to be able to use him. Dark Dimension character, DD1 and 2, DD1 I guess is where you'd use Ultron because you get him from DD2. And then I don't know that I'd use him in DD3, but I do like Ultron, so I invested into him, and he's a great character. He'll stand the test of time. He's an all-around awesome character. And then the final node, the Mystics, is Cersei Icarus. If you don't have them, you're going to have to find a different composition. And a lot of this is in-game. You're saying, dude, you're showing me characters that I'm not going to have for a year or 2 plus, right? Well, that's true, but this is the team I'm using. And this team will get it done. And the nodes are only going to get harder, right? So you're going to need this, if not better, later on. Okay? Use what you can use. I know that Asgardians are a lot of Mystics. So, except for, I think, Sif is a skill. So you got 4 Mystics. And you could run them probably. I don't know if they succeed. They don't have heals other than the Greg throwing a little bit of health back. But Greg can oftentimes backfire in your face if your enemy gets speed or crit or barrier for killing enemy type of deal. So Greg is very hit and miss. And a lot of times I'll put Hela in the place of Adam Warlock, and it works really, really well. So that's something to think about as well. Those are the 5 teams I use. Now, this is the team I use for my U7.5 when we're doing it. But somebody ends up dying, and it's generally Doom. And I don't know why. Doom or Kestrel end up dying. So I'll just throw in another strong character, and we'll continue on, and I finish it. I never have problems getting through it. But for new players and stuff, build towards the Axeman. Okay, this team of 5 will get it done for you at a lot lower power level. My power level is this high, like 350, I would say would be enough probably for U7.5. Let's call it 400k and just guarantee the win, right? But I only built the Trinity. She's something else. I never valued investing into her, nor did I need to because I already had symbiotes, right? So I just built them for Doom, and I threw in 2 extra characters, saved materials and gold instead of investing in these 2, and put in Emma Frost and Mr. Sinister for the mutant nodes in Doom 1. And that was just to save gold and materials. Now, obviously, the team of 5 are way better for Doom 1 together, okay? So bear that in mind. I would assume they would work a lot better as a unit. And they just they complement each other, essentially. But that is the teams I use for the raids I'm doing. Now, you're saying, what about Greek raids? I just use whatever I got. And when you have everybody unlocked and you've built these characters for the Ultimates and the Doom 1 and the Dark Dimension and the original challenges, you're going to have the characters you need to do the Greek raids. And that's something you're going to have to work on your own because your roster might be different than mine, obviously. But you also might have built different characters that you love and enjoy. So you got to be able to use the characters you love and enjoy to complete content, right? So that's just a baseline to follow. It should help you get going. Now I actually want to jump onto the raids themselves and talk a little bit about them. Doom 1 so far off, I wouldn't even worry about it. Your focus should be U7.5, getting to Ultimus 7.5. Now starting out, you'll be in Ultimus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 even. But you want to ideally get to Ultimus 6, because Ultimus 6 starts giving you the best rewards. Where is it here? So you hit enter, rewards. See, and you're getting decent rewards in Ultimus 5 as well, I guess. So U5 would be alright for a while. But U6 is where I would recommend, if nothing else, you guys be. Because we do U6.5 several days a week, and we do U7.1 a few days a week. Because the purple materials, we're needing it as our rosters are growing as an alliance. But the rewards here in U6.5 are huge. I mean, you're getting almost 3 raid orbs for first and second place. You know what I mean? So this is, essentially, it's 3 raid orbs for any position, really. 2 to 3 every single day. Plus these purple gear, blue gear, the ability materials. This is just massive, okay? And we can 100% use 6.5. But we usually just get, 80, 90%. 100%ing it, something happens where somebody doesn't get the right attacks in, and we don't 100% it all the time. But even at tier 2, it's sensational, right? So that's where I would recommend you end up, is use 6.5. And you're going to get these things called first-time rewards, right? So, in here, on each one of these, it had like 2 gold orbs, 3 gold orbs, ability material orbs, as well as a bunch of raid credits and gold and stuff. Just tons and tons of great loot. I think it was like 2 or 3 alpha, beta, gamma orbs that they put in here, 2 or 3 of one of those. So it's just a big boost to your count every time you get the first time difficulty beat. So you start on normal, you 60% it, then you get these first time rewards when you 60% this. And then you can choose to keep playing this for just regular loot, or you can go to the next one and try to get 60% on it to get the first time rewards. That'll be right here. And I'll actually show those off here in U7, which is where we're at currently. Now U7-1, because we've 60%ed the normal difficulty, we've moved into this one. We're getting close to 60%. I've hit a wall myself. But as you can see, the T4s and the T3s are sensational. And you need the T4s to start, you know what I mean, when your account starts progressing, as well as the orange gear raid orb fragments are huge. They really, really help. And that's how you transition. And you might have to bob back and forth, because U6 is mainly for the blue ability materials, the T2s. Once you get over 1,000 and it's sustaining, but your alliance might move a little forward and go into U7, but you still need ability materials for blues. Well, you also need purples and T4s. So don't think it was a bad thing. You can get blues elsewhere, or your alliance could be nice and drop back like we're doing, U6, 5, and U7, 1 every other day, give or take. Now details here. These are the first time rewards I'm talking about. And I don't think they gave us T4s in the past on U6, but they're giving us T4s here. So if we 60% this, we'll get orange elite orb fragments, which is huge. 3 gold orbs and 180 T4s. And then if we 60% this, 60% this, we'll get that reward, right? Well, the last one's 5 gold orbs. It's quite wonderful. 4 gold orbs, tons of T4s, and you'll stop at U7.5, okay? And this is where you're going to stay for a long, long time. A really long time. And you'll get a ton of purple gear and orange gear every single day from U7.5 for a long time till your account can push into Doom 1. And you'll end up flooded with T3s. T4s you'll never be flooded on. Even if you're a big spender, you just can never get enough T4s. But the raid credits are sensational. And you'll be able to grow your roster by opening orbs. As well as doing other things. And that's where you'll stay as U7.5 till you move to Doom 1. Now let's talk a little bit about Greek raids. As you can see, we're difficulty 4 here. They do give you first time rewards as well. So we have got the first time rewards on all these. And the difficulty did not increase that much, really. I mean, they just get stronger, the enemies do. But I don't know that it has a requirement yet. So I want to go and look here. We 74% in it. So we'll do difficulty 5 next. Or tomorrow, rather. In 7 minutes, really. So here's mine. As you can see over here on the side, I'm not very high because I don't get very much damage. 3.9. But at tier 2, 3.9. Even at the bottom, I'm getting over half a gold orb, half an orange orb, and a beta orb. So it's not terrible. Even first place is only getting 105 more gold fragments. And that's something I want to talk about here. Don't jump lanes in raids. Something you should do as an alliance is setting raid lanes, okay? You can stay without having assigned lanes for a while, but then you get people arguing and bickering. They're only getting first place because they're jumping my lane or this or that. And it's really sad if people are doing that because it's 100 gold orb fragments. And if you're going to rip your alliance member or mates off and not do what you should as an alliance member and you're going to cut lanes, it's kind of messed up and, you know, it's just not good. It shines a bad light on you. You're probably going to get kicked, hopefully, from your alliance for doing such things. But here's the rewards and such. So we'll get first time rewards, and I want to show you where I'm at. And we don't have assigned lanes here, but I want to discuss the lanes themselves. So as you can see, I went along this outside. And it goes all the way up. That is considered lane 1. Now the lane that's next to it, coming down right here on the inside, it's basically its mirror image, is going to be coming back all the way to here, lane 2. Now to go the other way, on the inside is lane 3, and then obviously the outside is lane 4. You're going to have 8 members on each one of these strike teams. So you're going to have 2 members in each lane. Something you should not do is if you're in lane 1, if you start right here, even if you don't have assigned lanes, let's say, and you start right here, you go up and you go over. You don't go up and continue over. You're cutting lanes, okay? You don't do that. It messes up the raids. It's not cool. You just don't do it. So if you go here and you start on this node without assigned lanes, you'd go up and you'd go over and then you'd come back across. Now, if you're in lane 1, you don't go this way, and then all of a sudden, well, I can't beat that because my Mystic and whatever, my Biomutants are dead. I can beat this one, though, so I'm going to cut across this dude's lane. No, you shouldn't do that. If you do, you'll probably get kicked from your alliance. So don't do that. Stay in your lane. So what's happened to me is, as you can see, I'm clear up here because we have 2 per lane, but for some reason, we have 3 people going lane 1. Brill, Chrissy D's, and myself, and I started the lane. So when I seen they had cut me, I could come here and help Prophetic, but instead I'm going to go and take the bigger nodes and get more points, is my plan. And we're going to assign lanes this week for this exact reason, because this is not how alliances work, okay? Now we say jump where you can, do what you can on Greek raids. So they're not doing nothing wrong at this point, but once I assign lanes, that's got to stop. Like I said, a lot of people might not know this, but it's just raiding courtesy. But I ran into a wall, right? So I would hit start. I have no more characters that can clean the raid. So what you do, and this is in Ultimus 1, 2, 3, 4, every raid possible, right? Just because you can't win the fight, you still put 1 character in fight. If you're not doing this, you're hurting your World Warrior milestone participation. And if you're not hitting that 7,500, your alliance is not going to get the T4s for maxing World Warrior every week. This is actually a problem because that's how you can contribute to your alliance. See, I just lost. I knew I'm going to lose. It took me 10 seconds, and I just got 30 points for our alliance towards 178,000 points you need over a week. So 30 points adds up. You can essentially do 10 attacks in a Greek raid and 10 ultimate attacks a day. That's 20 attacks times 30 points, 600 points. That's a big contribution, okay? Towards 178,000 every day. 600 points is huge. So definitely throw one character. Make sure you're spending all your energy. If you're not, you know what I mean? Your alliance is probably going to say something to you. The way you can monitor it too as well is you go in here to the World Warrior milestone. And you look at participation. We got over 3 days left. And we got people at 10,000 points. Okay. My participation's at 6,800. And I play religiously. So that they're that far ahead just means they have more teams than blitzes. You know what I mean? That's where they're getting more points, is in blitzes, essentially. Or doing extra war attacks. That type of stuff. Otherwise, there's no way to get more points like that. It's all about how much they're blitzing, and they're blitzing a lot. So if you go to the bottom and you see people, these two just came into our alliance, and they are at the bottom because they just joined our alliance, but they're still doing amazing. Okay? After 7 days, if somebody hasn't hit 7,500 points, it's because they're not trying. They're not playing the game. Just doing your daily objectives and your 10 war attacks and your arena attacks and raid attacks, playing the game, you will go over 7,500 points. So if you're not at 7,500 points, it's because you're not playing the game. And if you're not playing the game, that's at the point when your alliance needs to decide to replace you for somebody that's active, or you need to find a place that's for casual players. Okay, now if your alliance doesn't require you to hit this mark, that's fine. But you're not going to get these T4s here at the bottom. And yes, it's only 20 T4s, but it's also several orbs, several gear orbs, some pretty premium Armory 15 orb fragments. Huge things that's going to help your account. And by you not hitting that 7,500 points, you're actually hurting 23 other players. So don't look at it as somebody's, being mean to you or telling you have to hit this, or when they kick you out that they're the bad guy, because they're not. You need to look at it as, well, I wasn't contributing enough, and I'm hurting all 23 of them. So rightfully so, I should probably leave so they can get somebody in there to actually help their alliance, okay? So when they kick you, don't be upset about it. Just understand you were bringing them down. And this is a time-consuming game, and everybody's putting in the same equal amount of time, If you can't hit that mark, it's not a bad thing. Play casually, but find a casual alliance is what I'm trying to say. So, back to raids here. Setting raid lanes. And I have a couple pictures here I want to show off. And you can actually find other photos out there on the web. Or over on the Discord at MarvelStrikeForce.gg Discord, I believe. Or MSF.gg, the website. These are lanes. See how they're color-coded? 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8. Now 7 and 8 are just assist left and assist right. Now assist right, you cut it in half. They would assist on the right side. 7 would assist on the left. Now if you're assigned lane 1, you go this route and you follow the red line. You don't go, if you're assigned lane 2, you would start right here. You don't go clear out here and go up. You're cutting people's lanes. Don't do that. And that's when people start getting angry. And these are actually based off very hard, average, hard. And obviously the very hard one's going to have the most points. It's very hard. And that's why you want to put your strongest member on that lane. Because even that they're your strongest, they may struggle, okay? And that's when number 7 needs to come and help them. Now let's say number 1's clearing their lane real good, but number 2 gets stuck right here. Or let's say me, I take this one. I'm lane 4. I'm the white lane, the hard lane, okay? So I take this node if it hasn't been cleared, and then I push this way. And I'll go over and I'll get stuck on this node a lot of times right here with all the Hulk and Lokis. And I'll just stall there. Well, lane 5, he comes up and he's supposed to go this way. Well, he actually comes this way and goes that way because I can't get past this node. So he's cleaning up my mess. And our outside lane here is actually strong enough to go clear up to the end. So they actually get 100% on this, even though I'm failing. Now, we should have a person, our number 8, should be coming and helping me on this node. I haven't looked into it. I don't monitor it. Like, if we're getting over 60%, I'm usually happy. But it seems like people are getting really competitive, and some people are cutting lanes. So we got to modify. I got to start to monitor it and fix that so it's not happening anymore. But this is the U6 map, and you can set up lanes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean? You want to go your strongest. Then hard would probably be your next. And then you got an average here. You'd probably put an average player, medium, middle of your roster, etc. You get what I'm saying? But let's look at this next image I got here. This is U7. And I'm sorry if it's distorted or it's not to the right size. I don't know why it doesn't record right. And it's recording like I have it set up to record. It's me. I'm not technically savvy, and I do apologize for that. But you can see it's color coded here. So 1, you just stay on the outside the whole way up, the outside. Now yellow's going to stay on the inside of the red line, and he's going to cut up and cut over and help. Now green's going to go the same. This is lane 3. But whoever gets there first gets there first. You know what I'm saying? Essentially, if you can't clear it and you get stuck, that's what 7 and 8 are for. They're supposed to help on the lane that needs the most help. So let's say 4 of these lanes got started and these 2 hadn't been started yet, and 7 and 8 are ready to attack. Where should they go? Right here. Start taking one of these lanes. If these other 2 people aren't getting going on their lanes, that's their problem. You probably should have a talk with them or something. Figure it out, work it out to where 7 and 8 are going to replace these 2, and these 2 can help where needed. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You got to work together as an alliance. You got to find the happy medium, but that's how raids work when you assign lanes, okay? In my lane here for U7, I take this lane. And it's not going good for me, actually. I'm able to clear 1, 2, and about half this before I'm out of characters. Now, if this guy gets here first and clears it and moves up past, which usually happens, I'll clear these 2, and then I can go and I can clear this one, and then I'm stuck. So I would need 7 or 8 to come help me, and we can push up further, which we've got to here before with me and one other person helping. But it's hard. Ultimates, raids are not meant to be easy. You're not supposed to be getting to the end every single time, 100%ing it, all right? It's something to work towards, build towards, help you out. It gives the best rewards in the game. It's wonderful, okay? And that's kind of how raids work. I do want to jump here on my main, see if we have Ultimate 7 going, and I'll kind of show you where I'm at. As you can see, causality, I think they're assigned to help, but they had already cleared this one and half this one. So I finished this up, and then I beat this one, and I moved here, and I was able to damage half of it, or just under half, and I'm stalled out. So next time I have energy to attack, I'm going to throw 1 character at it and attack it. And that's just for the participation points. That's how you build up your World Warrior contribution. That's all I got for you guys. That's how raids work, okay? The do's, the don'ts, the whys, the hows. If you don't have lane assignments, don't get mad if somebody cuts your lane. If you have lane assignments and somebody cuts your lane, take pictures, talk to your leader, get it fixed, work it out. You're a family. It's 24 people working together to do the best they can in Marvel Strike Force and have tons and tons of fun, right? So don't cut your friends for 100 gold orb fragments. It's not worth it, okay? Much love. Stay healthy. Comment down below. I would love to hear any of your thoughts. If you have any more questions, please check out my Discord or comment below, and I'll answer them there as well. As to what characters you should use. Starting out, generally, you just use your 5 best characters, which is going to be your arena team, okay? But like I said, you need some healings. You need a healer, a reviver, or a reviver, and you need damage, sustain. You got to be able to sustain a team. Otherwise, you're going to use your 5 best. 2 or 3 will die. You'll plug in your next 2 or 3 with the 2 you still have. Push forward until you can get your Axemen, Web Warriors, or Symbiotes going. Okay? Is ideally what you want to do for U7. And then you'll be in U7-5 for like a year while you're building your Doom Raid teams, working on Dark Dimension to get the gear to build them up. And that's just how it'll flow. So learn how to maximize your profit in Ultimate 7.5 and get there as fast as you can, and you'll be golden. Yeah. All right, y'all have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.